The tree that never had to fight for sun and sky and air and light, but stood out in the open plain and always got its share of rain, never became a forest king, but lived and died a scrubby thing. The man who never had to toil to gain and farm his patch of soil, who never had to win his share of sun and sky and light and air, never became a manly man, but lived and died as he began. Good timber does not grow with ease. The stronger wind, the stronger trees. The further sky, the greater length. The more the storm, the more the strength. By sun and cold, by rain and snow, in trees and men, good timbers grow. Where thickest lies the forest growth, we find the patriarchs of both. And they hold counsel with the stars, whose broken branches show the scars of many winds and much of strife. This is the common law of life.
जो शजर कभी धूप से ना लड़ा, ना हवा, ना तूफान उससे टकरा, खुले मैदान में पलता रहा, और पानी भी उसे मिलता रहा, वो जंगल का सरदार न बन सका, बस कमजोर सा पौधा रह गया. जो इंसान मेहनत से दूर रहा, न अपनी जमीन के लिए लड़ा, न उसने हक अपना खुद पाया, न दुख सहकर मकाम बनाया, वो मजबूत इंसान न बन सका. जिस हाल में था वहीं रह गया. अच्छी लकड़ी आसानी से नहीं बढ़ती. तेज हवा हो तो जड़ और जमती. जितना दूर हो आसमान का किनारा, उतना बुलंद हो शजर का सहारा. तूफान जितना ज्यादा आता है, उतना ही हौसला बढ़ जाता है. धूप, सर्दी, बारिश और बर्फ सब देती हैं कुव्वत का दर्स. जैसे दरख्त मुश्किल में संवरते हैं, वैसे इंसान भी निखरते हैं. आजमाइश जिस पर आती है, वही हस्ती मजबूत बन जाती है. घने जंगल के गहरे अंदर मिलती हैं कदावर, बूढ़ी शजर. इनकी शाखों पर जख्म के निशान करती हैं उनकी ताकत का बयान. वो सितारों से बातें करते हैं, क्योंकि हर तूफान से गुजरते हैं. जिंदगी का यही उसूल आम है. मुश्किल ही ताकत का असल मकाम है. जो दुख, मेहनत और सदमे सहता है, वही आखिर बुलंद रहता है. हर आजमाइश ये सबक देती है, मजबूती आसानी से नहीं मिलती है.
What is the central idea of the poem Good Timber?
The central idea is that strength develops through struggle. Trees become strong by facing storms, wind, rain, cold, and snow. In the same way, people become brave and mature through hardships. An easy life does not build strong character. Difficulties teach courage, patience, and determination.
What is the main theme of the poem?
The main theme is strength through hardship. The poet explains that strong trees do not grow in easy conditions. They become powerful by facing harsh weather. Similarly, strong people are shaped by hard work and difficulties. Struggle is necessary for growth and success.
What lesson does the poem teach us?
The poem teaches us not to fear difficulties. Problems can make us stronger, wiser, and more experienced. A person who avoids struggle remains weak. Success requires effort, patience, and courage. We should face hardships positively and learn from them.
Why does the poet compare trees with human beings?
The poet compares trees with human beings because both become strong through struggle. Trees face storms and harsh weather. Human beings face problems and responsibilities. A weak tree represents a weak person. A strong tree represents a brave, hardworking, and successful person.
How does good timber grow?
Good timber grows in difficult conditions. It faces strong winds, storms, rain, snow, heat, and cold. It also struggles for sunlight, air, and space. These conditions make its roots deeper and its trunk stronger. Therefore, good timber does not grow in complete comfort.
Why does a tree growing in an open plain remain weak?
A tree growing in an open plain receives sunlight, air, rain, and space easily. It does not compete with other trees. It also faces little resistance. Therefore, its roots and trunk remain weak. It cannot become a great forest tree.
What happens to a man who never works hard?
A man who never works hard remains weak and inexperienced. He does not develop confidence, courage, or responsibility. He depends on easy opportunities. He cannot become a strong and successful person. He remains almost the same throughout his life.
Explain the line, "Good timber does not grow with ease."
This line means that strong trees do not grow in easy conditions. They become strong by facing storms, winds, rain, and cold. The line also applies to human beings. Strong people are developed through hard work and difficulties. Real strength does not come from comfort alone.
Explain the line, "The stronger wind, the stronger trees."
This line means that strong winds make trees stronger. Trees develop deep roots and strong trunks to survive. Symbolically, the wind represents difficulties in human life. Greater challenges can make people more courageous and experienced. Thus, struggle produces strength.
What do storms symbolize in the poem?
Storms symbolize difficulties, failures, pressure, and painful experiences. Just as storms test trees, problems test human beings. People who face difficulties bravely become stronger. Therefore, storms are symbols of struggle and character building.
What do broken branches and scars symbolize?
Broken branches and scars symbolize past struggles and suffering. They show that the trees have faced many storms. However, the trees have survived and continued to grow. In human life, scars represent painful experiences. They are signs of courage, endurance, and experience.
What is meant by forest king?
The phrase forest king means the strongest and tallest tree in the forest. Such a tree has survived many storms and harsh conditions. Symbolically, it represents a successful and powerful person. Greatness is achieved through struggle and strength of character.
What is the common law of life?
The common law of life is that strength develops through struggle. This law applies to both trees and human beings. Trees become strong through harsh weather. People become strong through hard work and difficulties. Therefore, struggle is a natural part of growth.
What qualities does the poet admire?
The poet admires courage, hard work, patience, determination, and self-reliance. He respects people who face difficulties bravely. Such people learn from failure and continue their struggle. These qualities make a person strong, mature, and successful.
Why is the title Good Timber suitable?
The title is suitable because good timber is the main symbol of the poem. It refers to strong wood produced by trees that face harsh conditions. It also represents people with strong character. The title clearly expresses the central message of the poem.
What poetic devices are used in the poem?
The poet uses metaphor, symbolism, personification, imagery, repetition, contrast, rhyme, and parallelism. Trees represent human beings, while storms represent difficulties. The poet also gives human qualities to trees. These devices make the poem meaningful, musical, and memorable.
What is the tone of the poem?
The tone of the poem is serious, motivational, reflective, and encouraging. The poet speaks like a wise teacher. He explains the value of struggle and hard work. He encourages readers to face difficulties bravely and become stronger.
Write a summary of the poem Good Timber.
The poem compares strong trees with strong human beings. Trees growing in easy conditions remain weak. Trees facing storms, rain, snow, and strong winds become powerful. Similarly, people who face difficulties become courageous and successful. The poem teaches that strength and greatness come through struggle.
Describe the structure of the poem Good Timber.
The poem consists of 4 stanzas, and each stanza has 6 lines. The first stanza describes a tree growing in easy conditions. The second stanza compares such a tree with a man who avoids hard work. The third stanza presents the main message. The final stanza describes strong forest trees and concludes with the common law of life. The regular rhyme and balanced structure make the poem clear and memorable.
What is the significance of the title Good Timber?
The title refers to strong and valuable wood, but symbolically, It means people of strong character. Such people become great because they have faced and overcome difficulties.
What is the central metaphor in the poem?
The tree is a metaphor for a human being. Just as a tree becomes strong by facing storms and difficult conditions, a person develops strength of character by facing challenges.
Explain the metaphor good timber.
Good timber represents a strong, mature, and successful person. The poet suggests that strong character is developed through struggle, effort, and hardship.
What does the sun symbolize in the poem?
The sun symbolizes comfort, ease, happiness, and favorable circumstances. A tree that always receives sunlight does not become as strong as one that struggles for it.
What does the sky symbolize?
The sky symbolizes high goals, success, freedom, and achievement. The tree's struggle to reach the sky represents a person's effort to achieve great ambitions.
What do winds and storms symbolize?
Winds and storms symbolize difficulties, failures, opposition, and hardships. They test people and help them become stronger and more experienced.
How does the poet use personification?
The poet gives trees human qualities. The trees are described as struggling, fighting, and reaching towards the sky, although these are normally human actions. The description of a tree fighting for sunlight is personification. The tree is presented as if it were a person struggling to achieve a goal.
What is the rhyme scheme of the poem?
The poem mainly uses rhyming couplets, in which two consecutive lines rhyme. The rhyme scheme generally follows the pattern AABB.
Identify examples of natural imagery in the poem.
The poem contains visual and sensory images of sunlight, forests, snow, rain, wind, storms, and trees reaching towards the sky.
Is the poem allegorical? Explain.
Yes. The growth of trees represents the development of human character. The entire description of nature carries a deeper moral lesson about human struggle and success.